Hey, it's Good Friday.
Yes, it is.
It is. A warm welcome to you on this Good Friday. I'm JJ. I am a life coach who eats mostly meat.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist and I eat mostly meat as well.
You do?
Yep. And I've been doing it for over 2.5 years.
Yeah.
October 22.
Yeah. So it's this month
This month is the half.
is the half.
Hmm?
Yeah. Just next week. He always laughs because I talk about half birthdays and things, but it was a big deal when I was a kid.
Yeah. Half birthdays never even occurred to me as a kid, but
I don't expect anything. It just is.
okay.
Yeah.
Because that's how your mind works.
Yeah.
So get in here and join us for our carnivore conversation. Carnivore life, the universe, and everything is the topic today.
Holy cow.
How we will touch on that, I have no idea.
I have no idea either, but I do see your phone over here with a new theory of time for one of the YouTube videos coming up.
I have been watching a lot of videos about quantum mechanics and cosmology and all kinds of stuff to bend my mind. And so maybe that's why it came up. But if you're familiar with the question of what's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, that's from Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy.
Mhm.
And if you know the answer, put it in the comments.
If you know the answer, do.
Put it in the comments.
Oh, Colleen's here and she knows what to do. She's giving us a warm hello from Minnesota.
How are things going in the land of 10,000 lakes? Which is probably more lakes than Wisconsin, but I've never counted.
I think so. I was in Minnesota for a year of school, my sophomore year of college. I was in the Twin Cities. And at that time, it would have been about 1990, 91. And they're right there. They're right next to us. And it was really hard to get good cheese. I was shocked because they're right there. And I'm sure it's changed now because I think you can get good cheese anywhere. But good cheese, and there was no concept of what frozen custard was.
Huh.
And they were, they're our neighbors. So
I'm guessing by now they've been completely taken over by Culver's.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what frozen custard is. And cheese curds.
Yes. And we rarely eat that stuff now here. So, yeah.
Hi from Woodstock, New York. It's Lisa.
Oops. What did I get done? Hi, Lisa.
What were you trying to do?
I hit the wrong button, Lisa. Sorry about that. I wanted to hit, which one is it? Oh, I wanted to go. But anyway, Lisa says, don't forget ribeyes are on sale this week.
They are. They are.
It's the Easter roast season.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some already backlogged from the last time.
I actually do. Yeah, I do. But my question is, do we want to have a rib roast for Easter?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we do.
Because we don't have any Easter Day plans around anything really.
That's right, because we're doing it all tomorrow.
Yes.
An early Easter. Hello from Manitoba.
Hey.
Hello, Michael. I don't know if I've seen you here in these parts, but you are most welcome. We got married in Alberta, Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so,
we did.
Kind of a neighbor.
Beautiful wedding.
Let's see. Colleen is saying, I had sun today and it's warming up. I live about 20 minutes from the border. Culver's rocks. Well, it does and it doesn't. It depends on where you are on your carnivore journey. You definitely can get some good patties at Culver's.
Yeah, because they're kind of the smash burger thin kind.
Yes.
So it's nice to have that change up every now and again.
Oh, Lisa likes my mistake with the special effects. Oh wow.
Oh my.
I just had a thought and then it just completely vanished.
It was gone?
It is now.
Oh.
So I had for breakfast,
Yes,
steak and egg yolks, which everybody who watches this live or our videos knows is what I have pretty much every day.
yes.
And I often have it for dinner. And it was amazing. It's really, really helpful to have the egg yolks be Heat it up, a little bit cooked but runny, becomes a sauce. Goes with that. I like a New York strip, and a little salt, and good hunger built up. And then the body's just like, yes, that's what I wanted. Meat.
I had to make up some new taco meat this morning.
Tacos.
Taco meat. So some ground beef with some Redmond's taco seasoning in it.
Oh, okay. I guess that's a lot.
Which I've mentioned. Today I had to have it warm. Wah, wah. I put a couple eggs on top, but I really have been loving it cold. And the fat gets hard on the bottom, so it's like you just crack off a piece.
I've seen you eating that, and it. No, I can't like it.
I love it.
Michelle says hi from Pennsylvania.
Hello, Michelle.
You're at least an hour ahead of us now.
You
so
are.
It's 6:30 for you, and that means that in a way we're late. Check for local ribeye sales because I have only seen ham sales. Well, ham is probably a little slightly more typical Easter.
In my family, it was my grandma would make ham, and you know what kind of potatoes? Hungry Jack.
Oh yeah, right. Scallop potatoes.
The boxed, dehydrated.
Oh, I love
Hungry
those.
Jack. And she would go all over town looking for
Hungry Jack.
Hungry Jack.
For me.
Yes.
She liked me for some reason.
She really did.
Inexplicable.
Yeah, she really did.
Jans is in the house. Let me see if I can do this right. It's not the one I was going to hit, but it's appropriate. Where's my air horn?
You didn't.
There it is.
You didn't put yourself into the time warp like you did the last.
Hello, Chans. Good to see you.
Oh man. If I was 16, I would only use the special effects on this and there'd be no viewers.
Now, it's my understanding, Chans, that you were seeing Dr. Hampton today.
Oh, that's right. That's what he said in his video. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a video update from that.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody go check out Carnivore Chans's channel. Make sure you're subscribed because he gives a week, maybe every other week updates approximately. And they're pretty great. Susan Watson. Hi from California, from a former Wisconsinite.
Wow. Hello, Susan.
California's a big state, more dairy cows than Wisconsin.
But we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
My first coaching client, we had to do how doctors do their like residency. We had the same type of thing with study clients where we had to coach while we were in the program. And so my first study client is from California cattle country, dairy cow country, whatever you. And we had to have many debates about the fact that I don't care how many cows you have in California. We are the dairy state.
It is interesting to see when we've lived through this big transition from millions of small dairy farms to those small dairy farms are now hobby farms and the dairy cows are gone and the barns are used to store old cars and do projects. And the just giant dairies have sort of taken over. But there are still some smaller dairies. You still drive by them every once in a while.
I was going to say, a lot of farms have their sign out that says they provide milk to these.
Hobby farm.
No, I don't think they're hobbies.
They also sell the eggs too.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. I'm got to go up here. Oh, yep. Happy Easter, y'all. Yesterday, I purchased 95 pounds of beef rib roast at Kroger.
97.
Also, 80/20 hamburger for $2.97. Life is really good.
Wow.
And salad is what? Salad is toxic. Spent an hour with him, with Dr. Hampton. Big fun. We're looking forward to hearing whatever it is you want to share on your channel in your next video. That is going to be great. Simpson Johns, hello from Iowa.
Hello, Simpson.
It's good to see you here again.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us. Dairy from Minnesota and Wisconsin is the best. It's all the corn they fatten them. Well, yeah,
This reminds me.
for sure.
So, Stephen and Steph, carnivore couple,
Okay.
right? Steph brings home raw heavy cream, and feeds it to them, to Stephen. And he's not really done a lot of dairy in his carnivore journey. Just recently, he's had a little bit. And he was like totally disgusted by the idea of it. Like he's like, and he wouldn't drink it out of the jar. So they got spoons so they could just take a taste. And he didn't want any of the thick sort of parts of it. And so anyway, the final line in the story is that they loved it. They were like, this is insanely good. Raw cream, fresh from the dairy, and insanely good, they said. They had like nearly a quarter of it while they were on
I would
camera.
love to try it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then they had other cream from the fridge too, and they said that was good too, but not quite the same.
Maybe the times are changing and we'll be allowed to make those purchases.
Maybe.
Without having to go, psst, would you like some raw milk? A2. Oh.
That was Sesame Street, remember that?
Yeah, that's what. Would you like to buy an A? If I put 2 slices of pickle in my fish salad, will I die from plant toxins? You know the answer to this one, Alan. Because you've done it and you haven't died.
You haven't died. But that's like a pseudo fermentation, right?
Well, pickle is cucumber. Pickles don't even have calories.
right.
They don't really have any energy. It's just fiber, right?
No,
And
they
salt.
do say it's fairly innocuous. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing an early version of keto I was doing. Remember when I went through that pickle binge?
Oh, I have always loved pickles, so I usually have them on hand. And even now I have them once in a while. But yeah, you were like, you don't like pickles.
I wasn't, but there was no LMNT or salty available back then. And so people would say, yeah, just add some salt to water. And I just started to crave dill pickles. And then so I got some and I would just sit there in the kitchen and just eat them. And then I'd like, do I want to drink this pickle juice? And I'm like, I do. I want to drink this pickle juice. It's crazy.
It really was. You
I
have
didn't
no
drink
idea.
the pickle juice.
No.
Shelly says, hi, everyone.
Hello, Shelly.
I like the
welcome.
name Swanstrom.
Hey.
I like that name. I also am a Strum,
Mhm.
but I am an Edstrom. That sounds Scandinavian to me. But we know nothing. My family knows nothing really about. It's supposedly Swedish, but we can't track anything really past Ireland. Colleen says, my husband's family are dairy farmers and they say it's getting harder to be a small family farm. So many are getting out. Also, Minnesota and Wisconsin dairy farmers get the least amount for their milk.
Interesting. Such a tough job too. I was going to say, holy cow. Holy cow.
Yeah, the cows don't wait. They need to be milked when they need to be milked, whether it's Easter or Christmas, you're sick or not sick.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we grew up with all of these giant families that were going to school with us,
Mm-hmm.
because they were the labor on the dairy farm where all the kids they had.
Yep.
I wonder if there's any like of those families, because like it was, I knew a lot of kids who were like the 7th child in the family. Well, if that happens as much now. Raw milk is almost impossible to get in Minnesota. And Simpson says, same with Iowa. Alan says, I milked cows by hand twice a day until I left home. Raw cream was the sweetener we used for cornflakes every morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I never had to do that. Michael, when I was young, my parents hand milked a Jersey cow and we had raw milk and cream homemade butter. Now, it wasn't that long ago. I was reading the book. I think it was called The Book of the Cow or something like that. And it was all about how every home should have one Jersey cow. And it was all about the health benefits and the process of milking the cow and processing the milk and caring for the cow. And it was extremely interesting. And I watched a bunch of videos about cows. And what really, really broke through to me was I did not want to do all of that work. So what I need to do is make friends with someone who has the cow and has the raw milk. But that would require me to make friends. And, it's hard to do when you never leave the house.
It is.
Let's see.
Wow.
I hand milked cows when I was young also. Made plenty of butter then.
Interesting.
All these people have so much experience.
Yeah.
You need to start up your own YouTube channel so we can watch you and learn. Please, if you have not already, please like the video. Subscribe if the spirit moves you to do so. For those of you who are subscribed or not, have you seen our last video? That's not it.
That's not it.
That's not it.
You were going to bring it up.
You talk. You just make up something to talk about and I'll find it.
Well, I was going to talk about how I had a weird week. So last weekend was our show. I help run a youth theater with my friends. And so last week was Willy Wonka Jr. I'm happy to say the Candyman song is no longer in my head 24/7. So that's nice. But we did it a little differently this time. We did a double cast, which we've done every few years. We do a double casting, but normally we do 2 different weekends. And this time we couldn't get the stage for both weekends. So we shoved them all into one weekend, which we've only done once before, long, long ago. And I have to say, it was, the first cast did the first 2 shows. The second cast did the second 2 shows. And by those second 2 shows, the whole production team was exhausted. But I'm like, these kids, it's their opening show. Like they need all the energy that was on the first show. So I tried to really fill in and have all the energy and be giving everyone the high fives and backstage, just cheering everybody on. And I'm just exhausted this week.
But you were able to do it.
I was able to do it.
Fueled by fat.
That is true. I was able to do it. That's good. That's true. But I've mentioned in the past that I used to have exercise intolerance. And that's what it feels like this week. I just am really exhausted. So therefore, I'm sad to report, but also I have mixed emotions about it, we'll say. I have broken my resistance training streak this week. Yeah. So I'm really bummed by breaking the streak.
And how long was it?
It was 9 weeks. Yeah. And yet it's what my body needed. So I know that it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. And I'm listening to my body and I'm taking some downtime this week and relaxing a bit and moving a little more slowly. But the thing is, I remember when life was like this, period. Every day was sort of the having to go slow, not feeling 100%, sort of foggy, fatigued, etc. So it's nice to be on the other side of that 95% of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I did make it through the weekend. So that's pretty remarkable.
And you did the right thing by saying it's time to recover.
Yes.
And taking that time to do it.
Yep. Definitely recovery time.
So last Tuesday, we released this video, When the Carnivore Diet Clicks. And got a great reception until YouTube decided not to show it to anybody anymore. But if you haven't watched this one, it's a pretty good one. And if you're deep into your carnivore journey, you might be able to contribute in the comments something about like when carnivore really clicked for you. But do check that one out. And also notice a thumbnail without JJ on the front. It was an experiment.
And it worked.
And it worked. Kind of.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to the comments here. Get caught up. Lots of cow stories here. Oh, there's a website where you can find dairies that sell raw milk. And Simpson says, really? I think it's illegal in Iowa. We can get raw goat milk that's marketed to pets.
Yes.
But most know that it's mostly consumed by humans.
Yes, that is the workaround.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yep. That's what Bella used to get raw kefir at Sprouts or something, some chain. And she was able to get it because it was in the pet section. But they've stopped that. In Vegas, that was. Yeah.
Dr. Barry just put out a video warning adults to not drink milk. Personally, I don't drink it, and I have to limit cheese because I'm a junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be a problem. If dairy is a weakness, it can kind of wedge its way back into the diet, especially if you have, for me, a small amount I seem to handle fine. But if I was to eat a lot, the inflammation would start to be more apparent.
Yeah.
But I don't really have it every day.
No, but remember when we first started dating, you drank a lot of skim milk.
Oh, yeah.
And I drank a lot of chocolate milk. Yeah.
I drank skim milk because it was low fat.
You converted me to skim milk because I drank 2%. Remember when we started?
Yep. The good old days. Darth Carnivore is here. Listening while batch cooking a lot of meat for my dog and me. It's interesting how the dog gets listed first. That's the way dogs want it. Well, thank you for joining us.
I'll do a dog's report real fast.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, since you mentioned your dog, Darth Carnivore, our dog is on mostly meat. We keep him, he's on a raw food diet, but I still do have some overall. He still has a little freeze dried because when we travel, I don't want there to be an issue changing over foods. And I also don't want to carry over like a freezer full of raw meat for a pet sitter to use. So, but he also would get any little steak leftovers that we had. Like if we couldn't finish our steak at night, he would get them, and the vet came and saw him. She's a house call vet and told us his electrolytes were out of balance. So I think he was maybe getting too much sodium from our steaks is my guess. So he's cut off from our table scraps, which we've never, like pre-carnivore, we didn't really feed our dog table scraps, but post-carnivore, it felt like, here's some meat, dog.
It's proper dog diet, right?
If we're not eating it, at least you can.
Carnivore Chan's new subscriber here. Yeah, from Chicago. And it was a great video. I watched your video channel, and Steven and Steph are my favorite YouTube channels.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for saying that. That makes our day.
It really does.
Goat milk is better for you. I don't know. I don't think I've had goat milk. I've had goat cheese, which I do not like.
He does not like it.
It's very strong.
Our very always picky daughter, picky as far as foods goes, loves goat cheese, which seems so strange to me. Of all the things she likes, it's funky cheese. But she loves goat cheese and all kinds of very strong cheeses. I recently had sheep's milk yogurt because the mushroom farm sells it. And I bought it just to try it. I was like, oh, let me just try it. It was really good. But then when I looked at the label, it did have sugar added. So I was bummed. It was vanilla. So there was a vanilla and a plain. So maybe the plain doesn't have sugar, but I'm not a big yogurt eater anyway, but I did want to try the sheep's milk yogurt because I don't think, wait, there's a cheese made out of sheep's milk that
Is
I've had,
there?
I think, but yeah.
So this is not from a viewer, but here's a question for you to ponder, JJ.
Okay.
What's the one meat you wish more people tried on the carnivore diet, and how do you prep it to win them over?
Oh.
And if you have an answer for this, please let us know. The one meat you wish more people tried on the carnivore diet.
See, I initially saw the second half of that. How do you prep it to win them over? Like, I have an answer for that, and it has to do with those rib roasts we were talking about. Like, I would totally, to win someone over to carnivore, I would put the rib roast on the big green egg.
Really?
And do that. Yes. Yeah. Delicious. And that's what won my brother over, not to become carnivore, but to buy a big green egg.
Yeah, right.
And he was in the food chef industry, and he just thought it was amazing. So that would be what I would do to help win them over. But that's certainly not a strange meat at all.
The question doesn't say it's strange, which is wish more people tried on carnivore. It's a little bit tough for me to answer because my menu is so constrained, and I like it that way.
You've always been kind of like that.
But I would say sardines.
Oh, gee.
But the problem is the last half of the question is how do you prep them to win them over? You tie the subject down.
So you're prepping the subject, not the sardines.
You tell them that it's a new high omega-3 containing carnivore compliant meat that is a very fast snack.
It is all that, yeah.
And it travels light, and you can have it, and it keeps for a long, long time. So it's good to have on hand. And there's many ways to prepare it. I generally start by draining it. And then you might want to put some salt on it if it's not already salted or flavored. And take a bite and see what you think. Close your eyes. And then if you think, that's kind of fishy, then maybe what you need to add is a little bit of stone ground mustard. And then I recommend very, very large bites and not a lot of chewing. And you'll love it. It's great. It's good for you. Healthy choice that people should be trying. So that's my answer to that question. Someone's asking Chance about the lion's diet. Yeah, because he's gone lion.
Yes.
And he says, going good fighting my egg addiction.
Oh.
An egg addiction. I don't know if I have an egg addiction, but I eat an awful lot of them.
But that's fascinating because, the more you narrow, and then you crave the things that are so bad, like eggs.
Well, right. That's like, for us, a salad is a cheat meal.
Yes. Oh,
that's funny. Darth Carnivore says, my wife, who is not carnivore, has a hard time distinguishing which cooked meats in the fridge are for me and which are for the dog. Yep.
Yeah.
But now Arrow has his own refrigerator.
He does.
It's about this tall.
I bought one of those. Our daughter's first year in college, she wanted a fridge, and I wasn't sure if it would actually fit in her dorm room, etc. So I got her one of those little makeup fridges. Well, by year 2, she was not having that. So our dog Arrow has the little makeup fridge, which is nice. It's I defrost his meat, it defrosts in there, and it keeps a couple days worth in there, so it works out pretty well.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's okay to have an egg addiction, Alan says. Even if you're only eating beef and eggs, that isn't bad. Feta cheese that's made from sheep and goat's milk.
Okay. Yes.
I have a strong disagree with the statement. It's really good. My daughter would say it's delicious,
She needs it in the fridge at all times.
but for me, it's that. Like how some people feel about sardines. That's me and feta cheese. Elizabeth just says heart. Well, back at you.
Look at that pup.
Oh, what's the dog's name, Elizabeth? And does it get any carnivore snacks? Chance is suggesting beef shank in an Instapot.
Oh, yes. We did that a couple times this winter.
Did we do a beef shank?
Yep. Yes.
Did I like it?
Yeah.
Is it pretty fatty?
Yeah.
Smoked brisket is wonderful.
Oh.
Brisket made right, that's hard to beat.
So I shouldn't say this because it's one of those things that is not happening and your mouth will get all ready for it. But I was wondering about doing a smoked brisket for Easter and like starting it tomorrow when we get home from my mom's and then cooking it. But we don't have any brisket to cook. So,
yeah. And often the briskets are ginormous.
Yeah.
We need to throw a brisket party. Chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fair. We have not done those at home a lot recently, have we?
I don't think I've done them in the Thai. Well, you know what? We have the big sack from Costco of just the naked chicken wings. And the last time I cooked them, you did not like them at all. So we have not had them since at home, but we have gone out to get them on occasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I guess the Buffalo Wild Wings tallow is maybe not as pure as we had hoped.
Well, yeah.
But it's better than, I guess, not tallow. Nasty little fishes. Susan says, I like sardines, air fried on parchment paper until they are crispy. Really good with slivers of cold butter or mustard. I have never once cooked them. I just eat them.
Fascinating.
I dish them out of the tin and put some salt and mustard on them. I should try to toast them up a little bit. You just had an ad show up. Yeah, we can't control that.
No.
That's YouTube's game. I have this image of their dog opening up their little doggy fridge and getting their own dinner. Now, we had a dog who, if he knew how to do that, he would have done that.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly. Lucky was a food maniac.
He was.
Lisa says, I bought a 2.5-inch ribeye on my way home tonight. I'm going to sous vide it.
Oh, yeah, that size.
That's kind of the way you'd have to do it unless you were going to slow cook it.
Sounds good, though.
It's very thick. Brisket is cheaper than ground beef, so I take half the brisket and grind it up for burgers. That's a good idea if you have a grinder.
Yeah.
I suppose we could put it in my coffee grinder.
Well, we could put it, there's a KitchenAid attachment.
Oh,
that
right.
we don't have, but
you could get it though.
Yeah, but I'm not dedicated enough for that at this point.
Brisket is $3.50 in Texas. I split it into 4-pound chunks and sous vide for 48 hours, then finish it in the smoker.
I like how you're thinking.
Yeah.
Or how you've thought. The sous videing would make it a lot easier.
Get on that. Let's have some brisket. I'm ready for it. Elizabeth, cut the brisket into pound servings, then freeze them. The best brisket I ever had was at that auction we went to last year.
Oh my goodness.
I was transported.
The Bid on Beef meetup. Oh, so good.
Now I want some.
I told you I was going to
all right.
Make your mouth ready for it, and we got nothing.
If you could use one seasoning or spice on your meat forever, what would it be and why?
Let's take salt off the table.
So you can't use salt, or
no,
you use it in addition to salt?
In addition to salt, because I think most people would say salt.
You'd have to.
Yeah. I mean, what is anything without salt? Unless you're Bella.
Oh, it's too sweet.
At this moment in time, I would say the Redmond's taco mix.
Really?
That's really the only one I use at this point.
I only use salt.
Yeah.
So I have no answer for this, but I'm interested in other possibilities.
As a matter of fact, when we started Carnivore, we did use a lot of different seasoning blends. Even through your Meta version, you use some seasoning blends.
Yep.
But yeah, right now it's just salt.
I had that. What was the brand? Hughes or something?
Yes.
It was some sort of a steak seasoning, and I loved it because it was sweet. Well, it turns out when I read the ingredients, there's artificial sweetener in it. And I would have like 4 hours after eating it, I'd get like this intense gut pain. And like, what is going on? I don't have IBS anymore. And then it was like, look at the seasoning and do an experiment. Don't use it. No problem.
But we did Canadian steak seasoning, Montreal seasoning. We did
Wasatch.
a lot. Wasatch. Yeah. All kinds of seasonings early on.
It was that particular one that I loved that because it had sweet in it and it was like a little cheat. And now once I realized but now I just use salt.
And you use your egg.
And my egg.
Really?
As a sauce. Yeah. My egg yolk as a sauce.
Oh, wait, we had answers.
Yeah, I've got to get back to it here.
Okay.
Pork belly.
Oh, we had pork belly a couple times, and I don't think I got it crispy enough or something. It tasted like hoof juice.
Hoof juice. Can't take the abuse.
Hoof juice.
No, it was a little piggy tasting.
Yeah, it was a little piggy tasting. We had it on that cruise, and it was also a little piggy tasting.
Yeah. It's so funny. When we first got together, he didn't like pork at all because he said he would work. His work took him to pig farms sometimes.
No, I never went to a pig farm.
Oh, no?
No, there was equipment where I worked that sold to pig farms. And sometimes they get returns.
Oh.
And we would refurbish that equipment. And before refurbishing it, we had to clean it. And when you were the high school help, they gave you the worst jobs to cleaning the farmer returns. And you'd take these things apart and scrub them. And it smelled like pig farm. And when I would eat pork, it tasted like that project smelled.
And I didn't get that at first at all. But then as time went on, we had a pig farm in our neighborhood at our other house too, that only occasionally the wind would be right that we'd smell it. But I was like, oh, I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah.
So there's a preparation problem there, but we need to try it.
I'm sure there is a preparation problem.
Now, Kalina's saying garlic
for her seasoning,
for the seasoning, which is not allowed I can have it. I can have it.
Oh,
you can have it. JJ is not allowed to have it because if she has it, then I can't be in the house with her.
No. I've mentioned before, between the two of us, we have tried every healing protocol there is, just about. And I did have to do a cleanse back when I gave up gluten. I had a year of healing protocols, and one of them was a cleanse that required me to eat a lot of garlic. And
it was not good.
It was not good. And ever since then, I am banned from eating garlic.
But you have it sometimes, and I can tell immediately.
Well, sometimes it's an accident. So I went to an Italian beef place locally and had just the Italian beef. And you were like, oh, what have you been eating? And I'm like, just Italian beef. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I suppose there was probably garlic in there.
Yeah. Bucky's gas station has the best brisket. There is a Bucky's in Madison now.
This is what I have heard.
So we need to do a road trip. Maybe we can make a video out of it. I know they were building one. I don't know if it actually exists yet. And Sharon is saying, yes. Yay.
Hey,
I made it to Alive. Welcome. It's good to see you here. Love pork belly. It's hard to get here. And besides, I'm doing the lion diet.
Oh, also another lion diet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Elizabeth also says garlic.
Mm.
Lisa's spice mixture, garlic powder, onion powder, accent
Ah,
saison. I don't know what that is.
I know what
And
accent is. Yeah.
Redmond's.
Sounds good.
But Alan says after 3 years of salt only beef, garlic has become intolerable. Anyone else have this issue / problem? When we went to Mission Barbecue, they had their black plate special was the garlic seasoned steak ribeye,
Mm-hmm.
which was really good, but I had some indigestion from it. And
So it's physically
and it was
intolerable.
I mean, I had the steak with that seasoning, and that was all I had. I didn't have the cornbread, and which was funny because I was like, I said no cornbread or anything, and of course it comes on the tray, and then I'm like, there's other people here who want this cornbread, but I was like, it's my conscience won't let me give away poison to other people.
I know. Yeah.
So I had to go in the garbage. I cook pork belly the same way Ken and Nisha cook their bacon chips, crispy AF.
Mm.
They make it in a pot, like in a cook pot, all cut up, and then they stir it around.
Yep.
I
Well,
saw
this
that
is
video.
interesting because I've mentioned before that I will get beef fat trimmings and eat them sometimes. And so I was watching that Casually Christina. I was watching her week 4 video of her being on the carnivore diet, and she was eating a lot of fat that week. And she put her beef fat trimmings in the air fryer for 20 minutes. And I was like,
that's a long time for anything.
Mine are like 6 minutes, but I did try it. I didn't get it the full 20 minutes because they were going to just shrivel up into nothing. But I did have this past week had the crispiest beef fat that I've ever had. And it was good. I liked it. But it's clear that I have not totally gotten into the crispy fat. Like I haven't
delved into the
I haven't
crispy,
delved into the totally crispy fat.
but I get the appeal because we don't get a lot of crunch in carnivore.
No.
Simpson is crazy for pepper. Pre-carnivore, I would mix pepper with ketchup.
Oh, wow.
Dip my fries in. So that said, I love pepper, but find that my joint pains come back horrible when I eat it. Yep.
I have heard that it can be really rough for people in that way.
Yeah, I've heard the same. Just recently, I saw a tweet about it, and I was like, huh. Yes, I tried to talk my husband into a road trip to Madison for Buc-ee's, but we would have to stay the night because of distance. We love their brisket. Well, now I really got to try it. And Elizabeth agrees with Steak Man. Maybe about garlic or maybe the brisket. One of those. Lisa says 20 minutes on 400 is the only way I'll eat it. Whoops. I clicked out from under me. Hosting a birthday party for myself for the first time ever, turning 65.
Hey.
Happy birthday. Coming up. I've asked people to bring snacks to share. I refuse to provide a cake. What should I do? We'll be playing bingo. What should she do?
What have I done? It's so funny. I get asked the food question sometimes and I go just blank. Totally blank.
have good beef and that's enough.
I think that's it. Yeah. There's nothing you can give them. Like, even if we're like, oh, Dr. Kiltz's ice cream or something, which may taste really good to us, there's nothing we can make that is going to satisfy
a non-carnivore.
I don't think anything desserty at all.
Yeah.
So it's back to that first question of what would you serve to a non-carnivore to win them over?
Yeah.
But chicken wings are great. Ribs, rib roast, all kinds of things.
If you haven't already, please consider giving us the like and subscribe. We're here because of you. If you were not here, we would not be here. So we appreciate all of you. Going to put up another question here. What's a specific carnivore meal prep trick you've perfected that saves time without sacrificing flavor?
Well, first of all, I feel like carnivore is either that saves time. I mean, it's either going to take you 10 to 15 minutes to do it, the whole thing, or it's going to be a slow cook situation, which is still not really a heavy lift to throw something on a smoker or in a sous vide.
Right. That's
Right?
true. Yeah.
So I don't have a what would you say? I know you've got an answer for this one.
Well, for me, the air fryer is the move. And now I air fry my steak and then I finish it with a sear.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's less cleanup. For some reason, it's easier for me to clean up the air fryer than all of the splatter that goes everywhere when I cook the steak on a skillet. But is that a trick? Does it really save time? It kind of saves time.
That's the thing is carnivore is usually
Carnivore is fast.
pretty fast, unless
Yeah.
again you're doing a slow cook thing, which again is a different type of deal. But you saying that, we talked about this several months ago. I think it was when we moved, around the time we moved. Going along with your air fryer, the cast iron skillet. Because
Mm.
we had abandoned our cast iron skillet long ago because it was just heavy and just kind of a pain to deal with. Right. And so we were cooking our steaks in just like a stainless steel pan for the sear. And then one day, one of us pulled out the cast iron and started using that again. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is way better. Tastes better. The sear is better. Everything is better with the cast iron. So it was not something to shortcut. And now we're so skilled, once you know what you're doing with a cast iron, it's nothing.
Oh yeah. And now that it's really well seasoned,
Yeah.
stuff doesn't stick to it.
Yeah.
And the cleanup's not that hard. So to clean I can't do it with a straight face. I was going to do a Brillo pad and Dawn soap. And then you got to get something like really hard edged metal to scrape along it to really get all the, yeah.
And no.
That's that. It's actually a common tweet. Is someone will talk about how clean they got their cast iron pan, and it's like down to the naked steel, and people are like,
the oven we have here, the stovetop has a built-in flat top, and I thought I would be using that all the time to cook our steaks and our burgers and
we
things
do
on.
not,
and we don't. But that said, omelet on that flat top, dang, life changing.
yeah. Our
And
daughter does a really good job.
My
with that,
daughter
yeah.
perfected it first, and I was like, I need to switch over. And
I don't eat omelets, so
no.
Colleen says family on Sunday is going to have lots of non-carnivore foods, lots of sweets. I'm hoping to bring my own safe food. What is everyone else doing for Easter? Yeah.
Well, I will tell you what I am doing. So we're having family Easter tomorrow, Saturday, instead of Sunday.
We're not hosting.
We are not hosting. And wouldn't you know it, pizza's on the menu. So I was a little surprised by the pizza, but it's what's happening. So I did ask if I could bring my own. So today I made, an indigo Neely type egg white crust. Those are I know you can make a lot of different crusts with chicken and stuff, but I actually like a little bit of a softer crust. So that for me, the egg white type of crust works pretty well. So I made my crusts up today, and I'm going to be having a white pizza tomorrow for
Easter.
I almost said Thanksgiving.
Easter Saturday.
Yeah. So I will be having dairy, obviously. And I did buy some prosciutto because I saw some of the recipes. You have a little crispy prosciutto on it, along with your ricotta and your mozzarella. So that's what I'm bringing. I don't know that helps you, but that's how I am addressing the pizza party.
This is a good one. Meat and cheese tray and a few berries. is a good thing for like the birthday
Yes.
or to take to feed yourself your own Easter meal.
Yeah. That's an excellent idea.
Invite me to your birthday party. That's what you should do. How about a mound of bacon with birthday candles? Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Oh, don't thaw the steak. Just throw it in the air. I used to cook them that way all the time when we had them in the freezer. The problem is we don't stock up enough of them to ever make it to the freezer.
No, we haven't lately.
And they get eaten so fast. They're never frozen. Elizabeth, I make 3 pounds of bacon at a time and boil some eggs to keep in the fridge. You've been doing the hard-boiled eggs recently. Oh, you've been using the hard-boiled egg maker.
I have. I bought that
machine.
Dash. I know there are several different types, but yeah, I bought a Dash. And so I can make deviled eggs really easily. Although and bring them. Maybe I should do that tomorrow.
Make
up
some deviled eggs.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
not a bad idea. If you want to do more work.
That's true. Maybe I don't. But I especially use them for my fake salads, which have hard-boiled
Do they
eggs in them.
peel pretty easy?
They peel pretty easily. It works well. It's no quicker. Like hard-boiled eggs aren't that hard to do, but I think it's a little bit of a less cleanup and stuff to do it in there. It's just easy. You don't have to watch the pot, and I just walk away. Matter of fact, last time I did it, I left you in charge. I ran to the mushroom farm to get something, and I said, if it chimes, you turn it off.
It didn't chime.
But it didn't. I got home before it chimed. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I wanted another gadget, but I did pop for it, and it's cheap. It's a pretty cheap gadget and pretty small, and I do use it quite often right now.
Jens talks about pre-seasoning meat. So that would be like dry brining or something.
You like that a lot.
We don't
and
do it
I
as
don't-
frequently as we used to anyway.
No. Again, we kind of rotate through the steaks so quickly
Yeah.
that it doesn't happen. But what I've tried to do for you most nights is to at least season it, and I put it into the oven on warm for a while, and that helps it sort of that salt to get into the
yeah.
because you don't want it too salty, but you do like the salt evenly distributed.
Yeah, I do. Cook 3 pounds of bacon at a time and put it in the fridge.
Mm.
I do not do that. I cook bacon in the air fryer as needed. But I'm eating less bacon these days because I'm having steaks for breakfast.
Yeah.
We're having tomahawks for Easter.
Oh,
I've never actually had a tomahawk steak with the bone in it. They look pretty intimidating.
there's this way of doing it. One of the guys we know talked about putting it right in the fire. Like you cook it in the coals or something?
In the embers, yeah.
I don't know.
I have to watch a YouTube on how to do that.
Yeah.
All right, let's
But
see.
that might be fun. That might be fun this summer.
Yeah.
Something we could kind of do with our daughter. She could have s'mores or something, and we could have
If we throw it in the solo stove, it's going to be incinerate itself.
that's
I
true.
don't think that's probably the place to put
no,
it. But
that wouldn't be it.
yeah, it would just turn to vapor in 1 second.
I forgot that's what we do now.
What's the most unexpected food pairing you've tried with meat on carnivore diet? Like a quirky topping or side that still fits the rules.
Mine is going to be a little not fitting the rules. I'm breaking the rules. But it's unexpected to me. So I've talked about my fake salad that I make, right? So it's a Courtney Luna's Cobb salad. So it has hard-boiled eggs, chicken breast, bacon, blue cheese. I think that's it. And then here are the toppings that I use. The most surprising one is that I take the bacon fat from the bacon I just made and I use that for my vinaigrette.
Oh.
But I do put a dash of balsamic as well. That's the part that's off plan.
Yeah, that's not compliant.
And just a little, it doesn't need much, just a little dash. But yeah, I actually am using bacon fat on my,
And it works, huh?
it works really well. So, I mean, let me just rewind myself back about 5 years and tell myself that I'm going to be making a salad with no vegetables covered in bacon fat.
It is crazy from that point of view.
Right. Delicious. Yeah.
I still haven't tried your salad.
Well, it's got blue cheese, so but you could try it without the blue cheese, I guess. I could just not put the blue cheese in right away.
XYZ says, greetings from Germany. Hello.
Oh, hello.
It's good to see you here.
Mhm.
XYZ reminds me of old Microsoft Adventure, text adventure, and there was a magic word, XYZZY, that would teleport you from one location to another. So if you remember XYZZY, you're either old or you spent too much time in front of a computer at a very young age. I guess I fit kind of both of those in a way. So I got a new toy for my tractor.
You did.
Nobody wants to hear about this. I'm telling you anyway. So I have my new Coyote tractor, 60 horsepower, and I have a mower now that goes on the front of it, on the loader. So there's a bucket that can pick stuff up. Well, you detach the bucket and there's a mower that goes on and you plug in some hydraulic hoses and it spins a blade. And so now you can lift the loader up and you can tilt it and you can use this to brush cut. But it also allows it to turn sideways so you can go along the trails and trim back the limbs that try to protrude and smack our face when we drive through in a golf cart. And it is so fun. And what did it do as soon as I got it?
What? Oh, it rained.
It rained.
Yes, it did. Beautiful temperature today. We're in the 70s, but rain. Yeah. It's so funny though. Rewind 5 years for this too.
Okay.
You know, when did you get your John Deere?
2016.
All right. So that was a big expense.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, I guess, yes, have your John Deere, whatever. We'll fit that into our budget, blah, blah, blah. Well, then, right, it's not big enough ever. Even when we were at the other property, there were usages that you could have used a different tractor. And, so the eyes are on the bigger tractor pretty quickly. And so we moved to this property and you're like, oh, we're going to need a bigger tractor. I needed a, and then we actually moved onto this property and I'm like, we need a bigger tractor. So 5 years ago, me would have been like, you have got to be kidding. But here we are. And I'm excited about it too. I'm totally excited about it. I'm excited that you're going to have more ease and be able to trim more things with it. No, I'm serious.
There's lots that needs trimming.
There's a lot of work to do. So this is going to be a big help. And then, I can be on the John Deere maybe sometimes doing something while you're doing something else. I don't know. Although the Coyote seems easier to drive to me.
It would be, in a way it is, yeah. It would be very easy for this channel to turn into a homestead channel. The problem is we don't actually do any homestead projects at all.
No.
So it wouldn't work.
It would be a lot of us mowing.
Yep. Picking up sticks. We just did that.
Yeah.
Picked up some of the winter fall sticks and we did wagon load after wagon load after wagon load down to the burn pile, which we will burn. And if we had a homestead channel, that burn would be a video, but we don't. So it won't.
But yeah, there's just a lot of tree processing.
Yeah.
And mowing and trails.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. So I think we've hit the hour mark, JJ. I think it's time for us to have second dinner because I didn't eat enough at dinner.
No,
I just need a little top up. I can tell.
I think I'll have a fat snack.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll have some sort of fat snack. Our dog's nickname, which our daughter hates, is Fat Stacks.
That came up in the naming, didn't it?
It did, yeah. We had lists of names, and I'm like, "How about Fat Stacks?" And daughter was like, no. So of course I keep calling him Fat Stacks, and she's like, that's not his name. And then she starts talking about having a fat snack. And I'm like, you could have a fat snack with Fat Stacks. And then I think, hey, now Carnivore Chans, I am dropping bars off the top of the dome. But that's actually not off the top of the dome because it's kind of I kind of already said it once before. So now I'm remembering it. So now it's a written bar and it doesn't really count as much. All right. Thank you everybody so much for joining us. Stay tuned here for the theme song as we say goodbye. And we will be back to you next Tuesday with some sort of new pre-recorded video, and next Friday again for a live. So from the Carnivore World headquarters, we'd like you to stay every day stronger,
every day more.
JJ and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from a tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and Eric